I'm joined now from Washington by Taylor Griffin, who's worked on the past 3 Republican presidential campaigns and was a senior advisor on John McCain's campaign last year. Is Sarah Palin really going to be the best you can do next time?
Well, I think there are a lot of options for the Republican Party. Sarah Palin has certainly been someone who has energized the Republican Party more than anyone else has in a very long time. We saw that in the campaign, her electrifying speech at the convention, and the push-up in the polls that Senator McCain got. But there's a prevailing mood in this country that we didn't talk about in the previous package that we just heard about competence and ability to run a government. And I think that that's something that also runs deep. Certainly there is a sector of the Republican Party, which Sarah Palin appeals to a great deal, that is very concerned about conservative issues and is on the right side of things. You've got issues like fiscal responsibility, which I think are shared across the board, but also some more right-wing issues, which she tends to represent, and that really excites conservatives. But ultimately, there's another part that's who can lead, and voters, even in primaries, ask that question, and Sarah Palin still has a long way to go to prove that.
And yet, your party has a real problem, doesn't it? There was a poll the other day, wasn't there, which showed only about 20%, 1 in 5 of Americans believes that they are Republicans. I mean, where's it all gone?
No, I don't think that's quite right. Republicans are pretty evenly split on the generic ballot right now, which is when we say, or do you plan to vote Republican or Democrat? In fact, there was a poll about a week or two ago that had Republicans up about 4 points. I think what you're thinking about is approval ratings for congressional Republicans, which are very low.
But in terms of how people consider themselves, the decision your party has to make is which constituency it appeals to, whether it appeals to those loyalists who will always consider themselves to be die-hard members of your party or supporters of your party, voters for your party, or somewhere in the middle ground.
Well, I think that's exactly right. And when we've seen Republicans be very successful in elections, it's generally been when there's been a combination of the two. When candidates can tap into the prevailing mood of the country and some things that people are very concerned about, that independent voters are very concerned about. And we're seeing that now really in health care, where American voters are very concerned about having more government involvement in health care. And we're also seeing that in fiscal responsibility, the size and the growth of government. And that's crossing from the Republican side into the independents in America. And you can have both. What you need to have is candidates that bridge the gap between the two. If you look at the last time Republicans really had a comfort behind victory, the most analogous situation will be 1994 when Bill Clinton was president, and the country was very unnerved by the degree to which the country was being governed from the left. We are ultimately a center-right country, and it was a Republican coalition led by Newt Gingrich that had a strong plan for America that answered some of those concerns that ended up winning. So it has to be a combination between those conservative values and smart policies that independents can get behind that help you win. And you're never going to win by appealing to one or the other.
Thank you very much indeed.
It's my